Hello everyone, it's Melanie. I thought that I would make a video to kind of document these little golden books before I send them away to new homes. It seems that I have all of these are spoken for except so far for the little Red Caboose. But I wanted to go through them to document them for myself before I send them out, and then I thought in the process I'd go ahead and show you kind of how I arrived at this spine that I put on here. So I was thinking I wanted to do a little golden book with a flexible spine that sometimes I like the feeling of something that doesn't feel delicate to me, and sometimes the hard spines that we put in these junk journals, sometimes it feels I don't know, it just feels like you need to be very careful with it. And I wanted something that was soft. So I was in my sewing room looking around and I saw this plastic canvas, which this is a plastic needlework canvas. So this was my very first prototype. And I thought, okay, I could either, and I was gonna stitch, like, so I just took some pages just to play with one. And I was going to then sew this in on the plastic canvas, so the signature's in. So I just did one signature and I was just kind of playing with it, and I actually poked the holes and sewed it through by hand because I hadn't tried sewing through one of these book covers on one of my sewing machines. So this was my first version. And like I said, it's just a prototype. I didn't really love it that much, so I only did one. So that was the first iteration. The second one was this one, and this one I did try sewing through the book cover with my sewing machine, and it worked. But the sewing machine that I was using is my newest sewing machine, which is a Juki straight stitch machine that's just made for quilting, and I really don't want to mess it up because I want it to be super accurate, and if it knocks the timing off or I start having tension issues, you know, that I'm not gonna like that. But this was the second version where I was playing with putting the fabric on the spine and how to finish it on the outside and things like that. And this one, I actually kept the natural, you know, when you take apart one of these golden books, there's a piece of book, what am I trying to say? Cover board, you know, paper board inside here. And then this little joint right here, let me grab a book that's not, so this part of the book, you know, where that natural split in the spine is, where it's two separate pieces of board. On this one, I kept this original fold, so I guess what I'm trying to say, between the spines. And I felt like, even though these books seem to stay together like since the 1960s with only this, it still felt a little too delicate to me, and I really wanted something that I could really handle and toss around, although this still feels, I mean, this feels pretty secure. So that was the second iteration, or the second try. This was my third one, and on this one I actually extended out a little bit further, how far out that I went, but I didn't go all the way past the on the inside I did, on the outside I didn't go past that little split. So this one was the third one that I experimented with. And then, what was the next one? I think Bambi, so no, maybe it was the Caboose. Maybe it was Little Red Caboose was the next one that I did. So this one I actually went and I went over that, you know, that bend. I need to think of what the proper word is for that in the spine, and kind of straightened that out by reinforcing it, because I felt like it needed a little reinforcement. So the Little Red Caboose was the next one that I did, and I extended this, the paper inside a little bit further, and stitched it with some heavy top stitching thread, and I don't think the spine is coming off. I mean, the fact that it's sewn, 2 layers of fabric sewn to the book, and then the paper really nicely glued down on the inside. But what I really loved about it was now it feels, I mean, it's a hardcover book, but it feels floppy and soft, and like when it grows, it just, I don't know, I like the feeling of this. So, oh, I just forgot something else I was gonna, oh, okay, so let me flip through this one really quick. This is a little Red Caboose. I put a library pocket in the front, and there's a little ticket, and it's got some craft paper, packing paper. This is from a teacher's book. Old recipe book, ledger paper, coffee dyed comp book paper. This is from a Golden Book Encyclopedia. More of the original book pages, some dictionary pages, some dyed paper, journaling cards. And I've mentioned before, but I only have, my husband and I, we just have one child, and I have a daughter. So as I was going through my stash and stuff, looking for things that might be a little more masculine, I don't have a lot of boy-related papers and colors and things like that. This is just a little envelope that I put together from a Golden Book Encyclopedia page. More of that dyed paper. And these are not heavily embellished. There's a journaling card I collaged on the front, and then has a little pocket on the back. But they're not, the pages themselves are not heavily embellished. And I didn't even put in, a whole lot of pockets either. Because since I journal myself, I like making journals that I would use. And I like getting to more of a blank page and then seeing where it wants to go at the point that I get to it. Does it need a pocket, or does it need something else? So kind of getting towards not sewing too much in place or adding, and as far as embellishment goes, I don't pre-embellish the journals that I make for myself. So I don't really do much of it. This one, these two I may have done more actual embellishment. Bambi is a little more plain, but I added some things in it. That's got a little Golden Book Encyclopedia, more journaling cards with fabric on them. So I didn't have, I looked through my scrapbook paper and a lot of my ephemera and stuff, and I just didn't have a lot of things that were train related, or that kind of thing. This is from a beautiful Christopher Robin, The World of Christopher Robin. And this has an eyelet here in the back cover, and then this is just a Madras fabric, a yarn dyed woven, and there's no hole in the front of this one, so it just wraps around and then tucks through. And if you didn't like this on here, you could take it off and it would just have that little eyelet there. You could put you could put a different kind of tie or something in it. And then all of these have a little ephemera pack that goes with them. And I won't go through all of it, but one of the things I've included in them are additional page pockets, additional pockets. So if you get to a page and you think it needs a pocket, then there's already some pockets cut in here that can be glued in into your book. So they each have some additional pockets. This one has some maps and some little Tim Holtz tickets that I made and things like that. So that's Little Red Caboose, which is not spoken for as of the making of this video. So Bambi was the next one that I did, and this is the tie on Bambi. This is a torn silk fabric, and it has an eyelet on the front and the back, but if you didn't like the tie, all you have to do is just take it right off. It comes right off. But I think somebody wants Bambi, so let me show you Bambi. So this one, I sewed some vintage linen on the spine, and then this doily I stitched onto the cover with my machine, so you can see the stitching in here. This is another one, I like this soft spine. You can even take this book and fold it back on itself, you know, if you want to work on it like this. I love the flexibility of this, and I'm not 100% sure, you know, I haven't used one of these for 4 or 5 years to see how it holds up, but it really feels, like it's not going anywhere to me. I mean, unless you treated it, you know, worse than you would treat another book, I think it's a pretty sturdy construction. So here's Bambi, which I think is spoken for, but just so you can see it, there's a little Golden Book Encyclopedia envelope page. Have some deer in there. There's another journaling card with a little pocket on the back, collaged on the front. This one I kind of stuck with the woody, naturey kind of theme. I love Bambi. I don't specifically remember, but I kind of remember, maybe because people in my life have talked about it, but I think that I went to the movies to see Bambi, and apparently I cried and cried and cried when I saw Bambi at the movie theater. I don't remember. So it's just got, you know, like I said, there's a seed packet, and I did put some pockets in. I didn't stitch the pockets in these like I do with my Golden Book Encyclopedias, because I wanted there to be plenty of room for this to grow. I didn't stitch the pockets in because it adds extra bulk. So I decided to put these pockets in. Well, this I stitched because it's the page is actually the pocket. But I decided to just glue in those corner pockets, and they're glued in with art glitter glue. It has some little, let's see what I put, a little bee and a button on there. More deer, a little pocket. Christopher Robin. More shipping paper, packing paper. Journaling card. Lots of trees in this one, you know, since Bambi was in the forest. And they're kind of, you know, browns and greens and neutrals. And this one, same way, it has its own little ephemera package, and it's got some extra corner pockets in there. And then the next one that I did was Summer Vacation, which I think this book, the little book, Summer Vacation, so perfect, I thought, for a little, you know, little golden book to do a journal with, because this could be your whole summer, or it could be a vacation, or so I really had fun with this one. This one I used a patchwork Madras plaid, and then I stitched some patches of vintage fabric over that. It's just got a little key. This is your house key that you left for your neighbor to check on your house. That's what it is when you went on summer vacation. This one I put a library pocket in because it already had someone's name in it, so it's got a little library pocket and a ticket in there. And the tie is that yarn dyed Madras plaid. So this one has a lot of maps and kind of bright, fun colors to sort of stay with that vacation travel kind of thing. That's a map index. There's a little journaling card in there, collaged on the front. More maps. This one's about Patrick. This book is about Patrick going on his summer vacation. Maps and more just little ephemera pieces for you to do something with. a few pockets. There's a little seashell from the Texas coast. That's from the Gulf of Mexico. Let's see. Little tuck-ins, slide. Have to do your flashcards in the summer so you don't forget your math. This one's a little bag. Fabric, top journaling cards, some transportation things. That might be a taxi you take on vacation. I love this plaid with this page. I thought it looked cute together. This one has a little bee in it too. Little tuck pocket, more maps. Some playing cards, some cards from a card game. More maps. This is an envelope. Oh, and some spending money for your vacation. Envelope that I made out of scrapbook paper. Dyed papers, just some stamping and a little ephemera piece. Maps. Tuck spots. There we go. So that's that one. That's summer vacation. And same thing. I mean, you can fold it over on itself. Which I love, because I love this, how I kind of like to handle my journals. So it really, and like I said, this one has just one single eyelet in the back, so that if you did not want to keep this tie, you could take it off. And if you didn't want to tie on there at all, you could just, but you could also put an elastic in there. That would be cool too. So here's the little ephemera packet for that. So leave these so someone can take notes while you're gone on your summer vacation. It's got some tickets and just a few little ephemera things in there. So that's summer vacation. And then I did my little golden book about God. And for that one, I actually purchased this book new. I love this book. It's so pretty. So I did kind of sand the cover just a little bit and then polished it up to give it just so it wasn't so brand new looking. And I roughed up the back cover just a little bit and then put some acrylic on it and then sanded it down just to kind of give it a little bit more of an aged look. And this one, this fabric I got at a thrift store a couple of months ago, earlier this year, and I just thought it was adorable with this book. And then I made a little flower embellishment, and it's actually also stitched to the cover, so it's not coming off. So here's this one. This is an Eloise Wilkin. I just love this one, and this one is spoken for also. There's just some. This one has a little more embellishment, just because I had a lot of. I have a lot of pink. You know, I have a lot of girly type things, and that comes to me really easily. This is a collage paper that I did and printed. This side of this piece of paper was in my June, my June DigiKit. So this one I've got some little journaling cards that I made, cute little fabrics that kind of coordinate, lots of laces and roses, but still bright colors. Her illustrations are just to die for. So beautiful. So lots of flowers, lots of pink. Some Christopher Robin. More journaling card. Laces, another collaged card. I like, this is just some vellum stitched onto the edge of those pages. This one has a lot of collage cards in it. Doily, this is one of my wallpaper printables with that other, with another collage printout I did. Other part of the doily. This is some cute little sacks made into tuck spots. Coffee dyed papers. Vintage laces. Journaling cards. I bought a Big Shot, so that was the first thing I ever ran through an embellishing folder, which was yesterday, actually. Another tag, journaling spot. And then this one has, let's see, some more ephemera and a few little tickets and some extra pockets and envelopes, and there's a journaling card in there, that kind of thing. So that is this one. That's the little golden book about God. And then the two others that I was prepping to do the same soft spine on, I've pretty much got hunky-dory ready. This one obviously belonged to Todd at some point, and I did go through some of my older scrapbook paper and found some dog bones and kind of puppy related things to put in here. So that one's not done, but I'm still working on that one. And then I found this golden book. I actually paid $5 for this golden book, which for me is a lot, but I had never seen this book, and I thought this was so cute as far as, you know, the subject matter. It's just adorable. So that's another one I'm going to work on. So that's what I was doing. That's kind of how this evolved, this soft spine thing. And like I said, everything's spoken for at this point, except the little Red Caboose. But I just wanted to share them with you, and if you're interested in them, you know, leave me a comment below. I'm not going to do any custom orders, but I will make some more if it sounds like, you know, people are interested in them, because they're pretty fun to put together. So that's all I have for today, guys. I hope you're well, and I appreciate all your kind comments, and welcome to all my new subscribers. I appreciate that too. So you guys take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.